What's up, everybody? Ninja Turtle here, and back with my latest finished custom figure. Going back into the Pokemon realm, and I'm very happy with how my custom-made Bee from Pokemon Sword turned out with her Machamp, which I did not make, but we'll get into that shortly. But yeah, this Bee, it really rocks. I'm not gonna lie, I thought this was gonna be one that I was going to feel a little shamed about, but overall, I think it really looks great. Of the most recent ones that I've made, this is probably, like, within the last 20 figures I've made, this is probably a top 5 for me. I really dig how she turned out, and not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But let's go over all of that, how I made this figure, what parts comprise it, and that way, if you are inspired, maybe you might want to give this a shot yourself. Fair warning, though, this is a pretty complicated build. It's not the most straightforward, and these things do cost quite a bit of money to do. So, in the very least, maybe you'll be entertained by how I made this. But before we talk about B, let's talk about Machamp, actually, because he is the accessory here, and yeah, I did not make this. This is a Pokemon battle figure, which you can find them in your local department stores, your Targets, your Walmarts, your Walgreens, etc. Unless they're sold out, which most of them are sold out all the time. So if you really want to get yourself a Pokemon battle figure, you probably want to go to eBay. That would be the most frequent place to find something specific that you're looking for. But this Machamp is really cool, other than being a little small. I mean, compared to all the other battle figures, he's fine, but compared to B, he's a little short. It does have these little buttons here, so you can see punches, like, your flexes, I should say. And that's really cool. Articulated legs, and that's about it. I think his head maybe swivels. No, it doesn't. That's it. Just the action for the arms, and then some articulated legs, and that's about it. You can see, again, he doesn't really scale all that well with B, because he probably should be a little bit taller than that, really at her waist. Not to say that B is perfectly scaled, because her height is not officially listed whatsoever in the games or anywhere else. There are some best guesses out there. I believe people are saying she's about 5'6". I can believe that. That's fine with me. Not to say that this build is 5'6" either, because that's also a scale that I determine. Either way, together they still look good. I really like Machamp as the accessory, and yeah, let's get him out of the way because he's not important. Let's talk about B. So B, why did I even do B in particular? I've already done a couple of Poke Girls, but I haven't even done my favorite one yet, because I have to build up, like they always say. If you're working on some custom stuff, some do-it-yourself sort of things, don't do your dream project first. You got to do the small little stuff, and then build up to your skill level to get the dream project done, aka Cynthia. Once you get to that point, you should have a skill level and develop things. So yeah, doing B first was more of a test of, okay, where am I at with doing Pokemon girls? Because I've done a couple, and I think this one turned out the best of the 3. Let's talk about her feet, though, because that's the real reason why I hadn't done B sooner, because I couldn't get bare feet. There are hardly any Marvel Legend female figures with bare feet, and B has the toes out. But this Megan figure came out a couple of months ago, and she has bare feet. So I was able to make a copy of these feet, and that's all I need. I just needed one. There's only one other female Marvel Legend figure, which I'll just hold her up. One other female Marvel Legend figure that has bare feet like this, and that's the Pepper Potts from Iron Man 3, which comes in a 3-pack that costs $60. This Megan also came in a 3-pack that cost $60, but I actually wanted this one, so I was able to just take these feet and make resin copies of them. And that's what you see here is my copies of those feet from Megan. And now I have that open door for making other figures with bare feet, which I have quite a few, surprisingly enough, that I had to push off, and now I can start working on them. Anyway, let's continue on. The legs are just Kate Bishop standard legs, just your average lower leg with the knee. Painted all the flesh tone. I tried to get it to be a little bit darker and tan. This is the darkest Caucasian character I've painted thus far. The darkest character being Storm, which, you know, she's black, she's pretty dark, at least in my opinion. She's relatively dark. But as far as Caucasian characters, this is the darkest flesh tone I've ever made. And I think it looks appropriately good for B, because she is tan. This is what they say. Anyway, the legs themselves, the thighs are bodysuit legs from a Deadly Origins Black Widow. I'm trying to remember which one it was, just making sure. I think it's that one. But they're bodysuit legs, not just like regular bare legs. So they do have some cloth ripple down here on the knee area. You can kind of see a little bit of that. Maybe, hopefully. And then I had to sand off with the Dremel all of the rest of the clothing detail, the cloth ripples on the rest of the thighs, because those are bare legs, which is something I'm just going to stop doing. But it still worked out pretty good for this figure, but I am going to stop doing that in general. It really is doing more extra just to get small details to show up, and it doesn't really work because there's no cloth ripples on the bottom. The lower legs are here, but up here on the thighs there is. So it's really not worth it unless I'm going to do the whole leg. That's the whole point here. Black right there, and then all of this detail. So this is the beginning of one of the things that I thought was going to be a pain in the butt, and sure, I didn't do it perfectly, but it went a lot smoother and easier than I thought. All of the detail, again, all hand painted. The 193 here, this little weird C thing, all of the orange stripe and the black stripe, these little stripes here, pins, whatever. The glove itself, you can see the little wrist thing, which is glued on. Just real quick on that, this is glued. This little wrist thing is glued on. It's originally a like a wristband from Shikla. It's like gold, and I just took that and glued it on here so that way it won't come off, and then primed and painted that. Back to the shorts, I can see the little fist there and all of the writing on that, and also all of the color on the actual like cloth. The base color is a light gray color. Same thing with the knees, the chest, and so on. It's all light gray, so that way the white would show up a little bit more. I didn't want to paint it white and then have to paint the little white in the backgrounds for the fist and the backgrounds for the numbers and stuff. So I think the light gray color works just fine, and overall it makes all of that stuff pop off just a little bit more. The pin on the inside was replaced. It is a white pin that I got from a figure that has like a white torso, like this, something like that, and just put that in there. The torso itself is a Blink torso, so it is actually the upper and lower body and the arms are from a Blink. So you can see, again, the arms are a lot more muscular, and you can check out, you know, her arms are pretty toned arms, right? I didn't want B to be thin, and I didn't want her to be non-muscular. So she does have a fairly thick thigh, right? Relatively, I could have gone thinner, I should say, and then the arms could have been less muscular, but I really wanted, you know, she's a fighting gym leader, like she should have some muscles, so she has a more of a muscular frame, still kind of thin, but can kick some butt. That's all I really wanted to have for B. And Blink gives you all of that. Again, the very muscular arms, the top, the torso. This chest is not the biggest chest in general, But one, if I want to use these arms, I have to use this chest. And two, this is the size chest that I wanted for B anyway, so it ended up working out. I didn't want to give her anything large in general, just because I just don't think she has a large chest. So, but that is a to each his own thing. But like I said, if you want to use these arms, you have to use that chest. They only fit this chest. Anyway, again, the upper torso, like I said, the same as the Blink one. All of the paint detail is still there. The fists, the writing and stuff, the little gray cloudish thing there. Kind of hard to see, but you can see that I also put a little ribbon there, like her little tie. So that has a little bit of plastic there. That's just helps. It's not beautifully glued on there, but it is there. And then there's some more detail on her shoulder there. All of that just, again, hand painted. More on the wrist. All of that is hand painted. All the black there. And then I had a little boo-boo with the hand. So a little oopsies. The problem here is I painted it fine. The hand came out good, but I actually made a Pokeball for B. I made her an Ultra Ball. And the problem was the paint that I used on the white, it wasn't thinned out, and it was really thick, and it's just really weird paint that I'm experimenting with. And I put the ball in her hand. I thought everything was finished, and then when I went to grab her for this video, I decided to take the ball out of her hand, and all of the white got off of the Pokeball and got into her hand there. So that's what that white mess is there. I'll just have to get some black paint and paint over that to fix it. So it shouldn't be that big of a deal, and I'm going to make a new Pokeball for her the next time I do Pokeballs, so it won't be that big of a deal. But yeah, that's the only reason why that's there. The rest of the detail, again, all of this, the collar is sculpted on for like the little buttons in the collar part. And then let's talk about her head. So we got a couple things. As far as the face is concerned, it's actually a rogue head from the, particularly it's the, actually it's the rogue head from the Walgreens exclusive Mystique that had the extra rogue head in it. That's what this is. It is a copy of that head. But for comparison's sake, here is the Target exclusive Rogue, which has pretty much the same head, relatively the same head, painted differently, some small differences on the interior, side of it, but it is a Rogue head. So this is actually Rogue, without the headband, sanded off, and then the hair is going back to it. It is mostly Blink. You can see in the back side there, it's the same idea. Just ended up cutting off from about here where the ear is, cutting off the front part of it. So just cut that and then disregard the front and then glue the back of it on. And then from that point on, we have the headband. So I ended up using epoxy sculpt to make the headband and then make the front of her bangs. So her hair on the front is not coming off of her face. It's actually sculpted onto her head, hard sculpted on there, but it looks fine and works really well for the character, in my opinion at least. And then took some plastic and made the little bow tie on the top there, and that's about it. The color for her hair was custom done, just a mix of black and white to make gray, just to get the right color. And her eyes are dark gray, her eyebrows are dark gray, and that's about it. There are some blemishes here and there overall on the face from several things, because again, I used the Rogue head, but I copied this. And when I do that, sometimes there are some blemishes that'll come out. The resin doesn't fill in the mold very well. So I had to fix those, but I actually didn't fix any of those for this figure. So one of those examples would be her ear. You can kind of see, come on, focus. Yeah, kind of see some of the ear is messed up there. This ear is fine, but yeah, there's just some stuff like that. Her nose is actually flat. It's flat on the tip of it, and there's some other blemishes here and there from that process. But overall, it's fine. I wish I did give it a little bit more effort and notice those things. So this would be a near perfect custom to me if I had done that. I still have some, like you see, some green in here from the blink arms. That's just, it's hard to get in there to get rid of that. But I think she turned out really good. I'm really happy with this bee, and I'm super excited for making more Pokemon girls because I do have more on the way. Let's do a quick comparison and then we can talk about that. Alright, so we're doing a quick comparison to the customs that I've already made. We have our bee, freshly minted bee. In the middle, we have Misty, the first custom that I made. And then the most recent one, or before bee, Zinnia here. One, I absolutely love the scale here. Again, kind of 5'6", maybe. I believe she's supposed to be 5'3" ish, and she's probably like 5 foot, something like that. I don't know exactly, you know, and nothing's ever official with any of this stuff, but scale is still really cool, and it's just nice to see all of that. As I previously mentioned in my other videos with making Pokemon girls, most of the younger girls I'm going to age up and make them adults. So most of them are actually going to look more like Bee and be taller and a little bit more filled in. And I am going to redo, also mention I'm going to redo this Misty because I have some issues. You can kind of see actually her strap on her stomach is starting to come off. You can see some paint there. Also, she's really dark. She shouldn't be this dark. She shouldn't be this tall. The shorts are too thick, like too big. They should be smaller. Just a lot of things that I want to fix. Actually, I want to make her more like I made the Zinnia, using these legs, and have her be less muscular, and you know, just fix this up at some point in the future. Zinnia, again, just did her recently. I think she looks really awesome. So as far as Pokemon girls go, I will be making more very soon. The next one is Claire, I think. Gen 2 Claire. I think she is the next one. So you will see a Claire custom figure on this channel very soon. I don't know exactly when, but it is part of ongoing projects that will be uploaded and put on this channel probably before the end of the spring. What is it, March now? I should probably have that Claire done maybe by the end of April. Don't hold me to that, but there will be more even after that. Of course, there's a cornucopia of Pokemon girls to make, so I will be doing all of that. I'm excited to make Claire, pretty excited. And then as far as Pokemon Sword and Shield, the newer characters, I'm not just going to stop with B, of course. I'm going to make Nessa, I'm going to make Sonia, and Marnie, and Gloria at least. So I think Marnie is the next one after Claire. So you should see Marnie pretty soon, and I'm going to make a regular, not adult Marnie, so she'll be like the last kid character. I think Zinnia is an adult, but this Misty is not meant to be an adult, so we'll see. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. That is the last video for a little while. I'm going to get started on some new customs very soon. If you're curious on what I'm making, because I have already made a video about what I'm making this year, go check that out. It is a video on the channel about the customs that are coming up. I've already knocked out a few of those, and I'm going to make a couple more, and then hopefully I can surpass what's in that video and keep on knocking out more customs. So I will see you guys next time. Thanks for joining me. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next custom video. Later.